Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 150. And yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. Want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 149 was the SummerSlam and Takeover review. We covered both events, covered the match results, and fallout of both as well. But then we took a week off for family stuff. And now it's back to my show, as well as my celebration. It's a big one, kids. This is the 150th edition of Tom Clark's Main Event. It's great to be here with all of you today. And I hope that you are having a great day, and I hope that you are happy to be here with me today. Thank you for hanging out and for celebrating this momentous occasion in the history of my show. But without further ado, let's hit this. Let's cover the topic. This time the main event is All Out, Takeover Cardiff, and Royal Quest. That's right, folks, the three biggest shows of this weekend. The weekend ending August 31st, 2019, the year of our Lord. Yes, so we are back and we are live. And if you are listening to the show after the fact and you're not watching the show live, as it happens nearly every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wrestling Rumors Facebook Live, brother, are you missing a party? You're missing out, man. You got to be here. It's fun. We have fun. Don't we all have fun? Say you have fun. Yes, you do. Shut up. We all have fun. So thank you, everyone's wishing congratulations on the show. Thank you so much, top fans and other fans alike, and everyone around the YouTube world. Did I say YouTube? Screw it. Them too. The Facebook world. There we are. And anyways, thanks so much for watching, for listening, for subscribing, for reviewing, for asking questions, for being there, for supporting. It's freaking awesome of you all to do that. Thank you so much. Hello, Sandy in Germany. I got fans around the world. Thank you, Miss Lopez, my dear. Very nice of you to say that. Yes, very cool. Shane, one of the regulars here on the program. Now that NXT is moving to USA, what happens with WWE developmental aspect of the show? Shane, I don't think you'll be seeing the developmental portion that much on TV like you used to. I think it'll be confined to house shows. The not ready for primetime players, as it were. Just my own opinion. So we've already got NXT questions coming in. Is Triple H staying in control of NXT? You mentioned he may not. Was wondering with the new platform, says Tim Amick. So we're going to hit on a couple of these, and we're going to hit on the points of the show here, if that's all right with you guys. So the goal of supposedly of NXT right now, Vince is going to have his input because it's his company, do what he wants when he wants to do it. As Jim Ross said, it's his game, it's his football. If he wants to play quarterback, he can. We'll see how deep this gets. I said to you folks 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, when it was announced that NXT was going to go live on USA Network every Wednesday night for 2 hours to combat AEW, that this was going to become Vince's baby and that it is over. Ring the bell, toll it 10 times because NXT as we know it is dead and buried. I stick by that if Vince gets his claws into it 110% full time. However, if he does not, and if he acquiesces to Triple H and allows Hunter to take the reins or to maintain the reins, I should say, and not insert main event caliber talents from both Raw and SmackDown 24/7, then hopefully NXT as you know it will not change all that much, but just enough to become a little bit more fan-friendly and mainstream fan-friendly. How about that? Mainstream audience-friendly. We will see how it goes. I'm not going to say yay or nay on anything yet because I haven't seen the USA NXT version yet. We'll see how it rolls, but that's my take. Supposedly, nothing's changing major that we know of at this point. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. Hopefully, everyone out there, as we said, is having a great day. Thank you so much for the congratulations. 150 is a big thing for me. I do very much appreciate it. Tina says, I don't see him doing much. Yeah, with the XFL around the corner, absolutely. Am I freezing? Someone said I'm freezing. Am I freezing for anyone else out there? Jenna says I'm freezing. Actually, I'm a little cold, but that's not, I don't think, what she means. So, hey man, it's live. You know what they say, if it's live, there's no mistakes when you're live. It was all meant to happen. But hopefully not technical glitches. Hello, Pamela in Indianapolis, Indiana. Thank you so much for watching. Wade, has been said, nothing is changing creative-wise from that. I read, but they can say whatever and Vince can do what. Yeah, Wade, see, here's the thing. We can say all day long that we've heard this, that, and the other. We don't know anything. As I've said to you guys countless times in the past, as long as we are not behind the curtain, we don't know what that company intends on doing. It's the same with AEW, New Japan, WWE, whoever out there. It doesn't make a difference. If we're not behind the curtain, we don't really know the truth. We are putting our best foot forward, our best guess, our best evaluation, and a lot of it is uninformed, let's be honest. But we take what we have at face value. We take the evidence that we have before us. We try to make a determination based upon that, which is not always correct. It's not always right. So there you go. I know that sucks. I know that's nothing reliable. I know you're looking at me saying, so you're not much of an insider there, pal. I get it. But I'm just telling you like it is. Even the guy that has the closest connection behind the curtain, everything could change just like that. And when it does, game over. Everything's kaput and kablooey. There you go. Rebecca, what's up? Says war with AEW is stupid. Well, tell that to Vince McMahon. He's the one that chose to move NXT. AEW didn't tell him to do that, right? That was Vince's move. Vince is the alpha male. He smells another dog sniffing at the back door. And he's going to do what he has to do to take care of his company. And he believes this is one of the ways to do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about any of that right now. We'll see how it goes. Montrese, you're here. It's about time. The show can start now. Montrese has arrived. Thank you, my dear, for hanging out as always. Good to see you. Let's see. Kaput. Oh, very good, Sandy. I like kaput. Yes, it is. German. Oh, there you go. It is kaput if he gets his hands on it 100%. So there you go. Is 205 Live gaining the axe? There's rumors going around. I don't know that 205 Live is necessary, but here's my fear. If they do take that show and sort of combine it with the main rosters, that may be the last you see of the cruiserweights on a full-time basis. They'll just kind of, they'll just bleed out. They'll blend them in to bleed them out. And then next thing you know, they'll be out of work. And if that happens, they're going to AEW, which will not happen. So no one's getting out of their contract in that company unless something drastic happens. I just don't see anyone getting released. At this point, you could do everything short of, hit a nun with a bus. And you're probably not going to get out of your contract in WWE. That, and you know what? That is just common sense. That's common sense. If the roles were reversed and AEW was the big dog in the game and WWE came along, come on. You think AEW would just let people go for no good reason? It just, hey, I want out. Okay, you can have out. Come on. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I completely understand where they're coming from. 100%. Let's see. 205 merges with NXT will be okay, but don't get rid of 205. Well, we'll see. Thank you, Victor. I love the shirt as well. This was actually a souvenir from the New Japan show when they came to Concord. And the New Japan stars were not there because of the visa issues. Hail the Chief and that friggin' moron. So anyway, Linda, good morning. How are you? We still got people coming in. What do I think about Bobby and Dolph? I think it's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Because WWE goes hot and cold on both these guys. 1 minute they love them, next minute not so much. And this happens over and over and over and over and over. I got all day. Over and over and over. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. All the time. You would think that we as fans would go, okay, I'm tired of this. Click. For those of you listening to the podcast and not watching, I just picked up a remote control. Don't tell anyone. I call like I see it. Click. If we're that upset, click. But no one's turned the channel because we all want to watch as much wrestling as we can. And WWE is a lot of wrestling, a lot of content, a lot of stuff on the network. I'm going to watch. I don't agree with everything they do, but then again, I don't have to. They're not calling me for advice, man. That's the truth. What was Buddy Murphy losing to Ali? Why have him beat Daniel Bryan lose to Ali? Makes no sense. Well, Jamel, my friend, you are talking about WWE, who often makes no sense. This didn't just start, my friend. This has been this way for years and years and years, and it will never end. So do me a favor. The next time you watch a WWE program and you sit back on your couch and go, that doesn't make any sense. Before the word sense comes out of your mouth, as it starts to escape your lips, and stop yourself and go, oh, this is WWE. Of course it doesn't. That's not me hating. That's just me being honest. Tell me I'm wrong. Fight me, as they say, right? I'm okay with the OC. I think it's played out already, in my opinion. We'll see how it goes. I think they put a bunch of gold on them. Now they're taking it off. Because, again, they're hot and cold on Anderson and Gallows as well. They signed the new contracts because they don't want them going back to New Japan or the AEW, where they could steal the show in tag team division for sure. Let's see. Shane says, where's Lacey Evans been? She finally showed up on SmackDown. But most time when Lacey was here, Shane, we're all saying, God, why is she on TV? Lacey was not ready. She's not ready now. She needs to stay off TV as much as possible and just work house shows and get better. She needs to get better in order to be better on TV. And she's not there yet. And, she didn't show me anything on SmackDown that I haven't already seen. I saw more of the same. That's just my opinion. You can take that or leave it. Maybe you love her. Maybe a lot of people love her. I in fact, don't. Nothing against her personally as a person, but as a character and as a worker in the ring, it's not for me. Let's see. Is Daniel Bryan doing everything to Roman? Perhaps, Corey. Perhaps. At this point, that storyline is so ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see. Adam Cole is getting love. Why isn't... Still champ Vince hasn't messed this up. Well, give him a chance there, Ray. Vince hasn't got his hands on him yet, okay? And if that happens, maybe he will mess it up. Roman will come in and beat him. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. She is still a botch queen. Did you see Bayley getting... How is she a botch queen? You call Bayley up, but really? Bayley? Or are you talking about... Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Lacey, aren't you? Well, that spot that you're referencing had something to do with Lacey through her gloves and Bayley was like looking for them. That had nothing to do with Lacey working in the ring, actually. That was just the spot with the gloves, and then she yelled out arm drag, and then Lacey ran at her. So that's not the way it appears. I thought it did too, but it's not. Hello, Sal. Welcome to the show. I think Bray will bring others to join him, possibly, but I don't know that he needs to. I think he needs to stay on his own for a while. Yeah, I agree, Tim. I like Bayley. I think Bayley... I love the fact that Bayley was the most underrated of the four. And I don't know that I've ever seen Bayley look more confident than she looks right now. People are complaining about that thing. Was it last week where she shoved Charlotte off the stool? There was a reason behind that. Charlotte is too big for her own good. Character-wise, okay, storyline. She's too big for her own good. And she doesn't have enough people challenging her to be the alpha female. And sorry about that. Boom! Sound effect. So she doesn't have enough women challenging her to be the alpha female. And now she's got Bayley, who, like Becky, will not back down. And I love that. We gave Bayley a hard time for not having enough teeth. Now that she gets some teeth, people criticize her because she has too many teeth. You can't have it both ways, folks. You either want her to be tough or you don't. And I prefer tough Bayley versus pushover Bayley that wants to hug everybody any day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's my take. Street Profits becoming jobbers. Ray, I don't know if I see that. Street Profits lost the titles to the Undisputed Era. I don't call them jobbers at all for that. Street Profits are exciting to watch. Believe me when I tell you that they're going places. In my humble opinion, in my humble estimation, they're going places. And as I said last week, Street Profits are... week before, Street Profits are stars. I firmly believe that. We'll see what happens. It's extremely hard to call right now. This man can do whatever he wants to do, whenever he wants to do it, and that is the problem that I have with this entire thing. I say problem, but here's the thing. It is what it is, and there's not much you can do about it. Sorry, I was looking something up. So when it comes to the Street Profits, you've got Montez Ford, in my humble opinion, is a star. I think this guy has star written all over him. I like Dawkins as well, but Ford is something special, in my opinion. I don't call them jobbers at all. See, Braun or Seth going to win Universal Title Clash of Champions. Seth. I believe Seth's going over. I think Cesaro will face Ono NXT UK Takeover. Well, we're going to talk about that today, so bam. Becoming a jobber. Larry, I disagree with that. I mean, I get it. It's a joke, but I disagree with that as well. Victor says, I think that CM Punk is better off going back to wrestling because his MMA career is looking lost. Interesting. Yeah, it looks like the MMA part of it may be over. He may not be finished with it, but the sport may be finished with him. We'll see what happens. He's back. He worked out in the ring last week, I guess, for just kicks and giggles. And they caught it on tape or recorded it. I say tape, but you know what I mean. And so it's become the talk of the internet. I got a piece coming out today on Chairshot examining whether or not Punk should, is he actually returning, that kind of thing. Didn't think I'd be writing that column again, but here I am. Let's see. Street Profits deserve more time. Yeah, I agree. Column number 5 in the PWI 500 Black. Jeff, I agree with you, Jeff. At the same time, PWI 500 was written by a guy, and I don't know how he's doing it now, how he's running the magazine, how he's running the countdown, if he actually has fans voting, or how he's doing this. Excuse me for being uneducated on this because I haven't read PWI. I got a ton of issues in the box in the closet from years ago when I was a kid, but I haven't kept up with it a long time. Bill Apter, I assume, is still running it. I guess he is, but I don't know what the criteria is and how the vote, if he's just doing himself, if he's the Vince McMahon of this, just calling his own shots like the Hall of Fame. I have no idea how he's doing it. But I wouldn't get too lost right now in the PWI 500. I just take that at face value. It's just one guy's opinion. Let's be honest. It's a very subjective thing. You guys know that, right? When will they have it? Well, now they've dropped the NXT Tag Team titles. Could be any time, Danny. Could be any time. Nathan, I agree with you. Punk saved his money. Well, here's the thing, Nathan. If you believe everything you hear, Punk maybe didn't save his money because that trial took it out of him. And I don't know, not my business what his financial status is. I get it, but at the same time, I don't know where he's at right now financially. If he needs the money, if he doesn't, you would think if he needed the money, he would have been back in some promotion in some capacity by now. He says he doesn't care. That remains to be seen. We will find out shortly. I am very positive of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start hitting on these programs. You guys want to do that? Let's do that. Let's talk about first AEW All Out. It takes place tomorrow, August 31st, in Chicago, Illinois, the Sears Center. Is that right? Yes, the Sears Center. So let's go ahead and talk about this. We've got the Casino Battle Royale. And I'm going to click on the options here on the website so we can talk about this. Winner receives a shot at the Women's World Championship. Several ladies have declared for this. I'm sure the ring will be full of hopefully tough competitors putting on a good match, putting on a good show for the fans, which is what we all want to see. The buy-in, Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans. I don't know if there's stakes involved in this. This is a tag team match, but whether or not it's for tag team championships or not, or for the upcoming tag team championship. Here's the thing. It's not part of the AEW tag team tournament. So it's just a match that's just happening, I suppose. But you would have to believe that whoever comes out of this on top. And by the way, this match in particular streams free on YouTube. The buy-in Casino Battle Royale streams on BR Live. Just to be clear, BR Live is how you can watch it. I'm often asked, how can I watch AEW till they get on TNT? And right now, the answer is BR Live. Michael says, hope Cody wins. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit the rest of this card, and we can talk about it at length if you guys want to. We just mentioned Cody. Cody is facing Shawn Spears. With Tully Blanchard at his side. This should be a good one. Looking forward to this match. I think both guys will more than bring it. You've got the AAA World Tag Team Championships on the line. The Young Bucks against the Lucha Brothers in a ladder match. So, how do I feel about other companies' championships being featured on AEW? I don't know that you'll be seeing that when AEW goes to TNT. That's just my take. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they'll continue to do business with AAA and whoever else they want to do business with and feature those championships, whatever championship they want to. But whether or not I believe that's the case, who knows? That to me is sort of up in the air. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, we've got Joey Janela, Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin. It's a triple threat. I don't know if there's anything at stake here. I don't know if there's any kind of gimmick match. It's a three-way, but that's all I know of. It's not a hardcore match, but it'll probably turn into one quick. That's just kind of how those three guys roll. The AEW Tag Team Tournament, the winner gets first round bye in the AEW Tag Team Tournament. The Dark Order versus the Best Friends. I'm not sold on the Dark Order. I just don't. It's not clicking for me so far. It doesn't mean that it can't. It doesn't mean that it won't. But so far, I'm just not feeling it. Rebecca mentioned that Moxley, people talking about Moxley. Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about Moxley. Has MRSA infection? Yes. Will miss some time. Yes, it's true, Rob. Absolutely. He's supposed to have, I want to say the word surgery, maybe procedure is a better word. I don't know, to remove the staph infection from his elbow. He was gutted that he missed the match. He made that very clear on social media. He didn't want to miss. AEW didn't want him to miss, but they put Pac in his place, rewinding back to when Pac was supposed to face Kenny in the past, and just that match just fell through. So, at least, the very least, AEW did replace him. At the very least, AEW did address it. They would not have done, as they jokingly said, made it a triple threat with another match and put Kenny somewhere else, because that's what WWE would do, which is absolute truth. They weren't messing around about that. So we'll see what happens. I think that match is going to be just fine. I think it will deliver on every level. We'll see what happens. Yes, I'm gutted for Moxley as well. We're going to go, me and the boy are going to go see AEW TNT live on TNT on November 6th, hopefully. And I would say Mox will be more than back by then. He's advertised, but he's advertised for all the events because he was advertised before. So we'll see what happens. Will AEW have a mid-card title? Jamel, fantastic question. As of this point, there is no mid-card title that I know of. I've not heard anything to the opposite. If it were me, it's not. But if it were, I would have an AEW World Television Championship. I know that may be close to what Ring of Honor is doing, but to me, Ring of Honor's TV title is not a TV title. No disrespect to Shane Taylor or anyone else that's held that title recently. I'm not feeling it. I want a classic World's Television title, which is defended more often than not on TV. It doesn't mean it can't be defended at big events, but I want it defended on TV. It doesn't have to be every week, but I want the TV champion to have a presence. So you put that belt on someone, put it on MJF. There you go. MJF, AEW World Television Champion. I'd go for that. We'll see what happens. And, the NWA's brought back the national championships. That's probably not a good move on AEW's part. If they want to do something, they want to do something to stand out. Maybe the word television title is not something they want to do. I know Vince is strayed away from that and refused to do it for years. Yes, Shane, I did see the Briscoes versus the Rock and Roll Express. I hate the fact, hello Jason, I hate the fact that the crowd was not behind Ricky and Robert to begin with. And Ricky's like, come on, help me out. And he's trying to get the chant started. No one helped. And Ricky said, you're not going to help me out? And I was like sitting at home going, Jesus Christ, man, wake up out there. There's legends in the ring. Best tag team of all time. Dude, and I love me some Hawk and Animal, but if you want to talk about staying power and respect throughout the entire industry, Ricky and Robert have it, folks. Bottom line, man. Look at their body of work from the 80s up until today. It's amazing. It's extraordinary what they've done. And still, they're not in great shape. They're older. I'll give you both of those things. They're still going in there and, busting their hump to give you a good match. They're still as entertaining as they can be at their age and their bodies, for sure. That's how I feel. But yes, I appreciated the match and I enjoyed it. And Mark and Jay had time of their lives. And I get the feeling that the handshake that became a hug afterward was not planned. And you could see Jay just sort of say, screw it. He ends up just hugging Ricky and Robert. That was a nice touch. I love that, actually. Very cool. Undertaker versus Sting. EL is asking. Or LDJ? Yeah, Mr. Vega. How's that? Better? So, I don't know. We've talked about that before here on the show. Anything can happen, I suppose, at any given time. We will see. Rob says Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnights with Jim Cornette. Some of the best tag team matches of all time. I completely agree. Jamel says, I just hate seeing old men fight. It looks like it hurts for them just to walk around the ring. But Jamel, to your point, does that make you pull for them when they're beaten down? It's a very subtle thing. I'm not saying that you don't get it. Don't misunderstand me. But I find myself in that very thing, doing that very thing sometimes. I'm like, oh, God, look at him. Oh, wait a minute. He's down. I'm supposed to pull for him. I get it. So I'm not saying that's the entire thing, but I'm sure that plays into it for sure. Hello. Yes, I totally agree with you 100%. So let's finish up the card here, shall we? We've also got Riho versus Hikaru Shida. I do not want to mispronounce this lady's name. She's very good in the ring. It's a singles match, ladies match. Can't wait to see this. Riho is, the term Spitfire? That's Riho, man. She's so good. And she's such a sympathetic superstar. I say superstar, you know what I mean? She's such a sympathetic talent, a character that you just, when she gets flopped around the ring, you're like, oh my God, like the way Jeff Hardy used to, you can't help but pull for her. Riho has that in spades. So we'll see how it plays out, but that should be an excellent match. Then you've got a match that is for me. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. Yikes. Versus SCU. 6-man tag team match. There is your card for AEW All Out. And let's don't forget, we've got 2 main events. That's the undercard for All Out. Here's the 2 main events for you. Kenny Omega versus Pac, as we said before, and to determine the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho. Jericho's winning the title. I would be absolutely shocked, stunned, and floored if he did not. But there you are. So anyway, anything can happen. Do I think Steve Austin will wrestle again? No, Will, I do not. I think it's over. Cripple fight isn't more compelling just because they're crippled, Nathan says. Wow, some harsh tones coming from Nathan. I get it. I get your point, I suppose. Why has The Miz been looked like? Why has he been booked like a chump lately? Keith, as I've said earlier in the program, every time you start to think or start to question why something on WWE programming doesn't make sense, stop yourself if you can. It's hard for me too sometimes. And say out loud to no one in particular but yourself. That's right. This is WWE. They do this all the time. Talents get hired in that company. They fall into a rut. They get silly things to say. They get a goofball character. They end up off TV and they're going, I can't believe this happened to me. Really? You didn't see this from a distance? You don't know the track record this company has of Vince changes everything on a dime, tears up plans at the last moment, changes his mind based on how you look, and you don't know this going in? At this point, 2019, I think if you're fooled by Vince McMahon and you're a talent, I think you only have yourself to blame. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have a different take than me. I don't know. Miss Lopez says, like Miz as a heel, can't used to him being a face. A lot of people completely agree with you. Raymond says, will Edge have another match? That's the word on the street, is that he wants to have another match. I don't know if it's true or not. I would say it's a bad idea, but I'm not Edge. I'm not Adam Copeland. I'm not Beth Phoenix. I'm not his kids. I don't know where his head's at. Completely his decision. I saw someone on Twitter the other day saying, think of your kids. Think of your wife. And I'm like, boy, you got a lot of balls. Excuse my English. You got a lot of guts saying that to a guy you don't know who's done more in this business than some of the new guys you're seeing today will ever do. You got a lot of guts saying that to him. It's his decision. Do you know what I mean? You can be concerned, but when you tag Edge on Twitter and you say, think of your kids, you got a lot of guts, man. Keyboard warrior, to be sure. I hate that term because people will say that about me as well, I suppose. I'm not going to say anything in a column I wouldn't be comfortable saying to someone if they were tagged on social media. That's how I roll. No one else has to do that, I suppose. It's just my own 2 cents. Carlos said against Roman, I heard that'd be interesting. I think a match against Roman would be fine because I think Roman would help protect him and take care of him. Roman's better than he used to be. Roman's improved. I don't see the problem there at all. If Edge wants to do it, if he's healthy, if the doctors sign off on him, if his family's okay with it, and if he wants to really do it, let him do it. If he doesn't believe he can, if his wife doesn't want him to, if their personal situation at home dictates that he shouldn't do this, then don't do it. Completely his decision. That's sort of how I fall down on all this. Chris says, I love Tessa Blanchard. You and a whole bunch of other people, Chris, for sure. Will Sting take on The Fiend? If he does, he will lose. It's a bad idea, Alan, in my humble estimation. If Sting ever came back, it should be against Undertaker. That's how I feel. His final match, one final time, for the last time ever. Here we go. Jason's back. This is a dumb comparison. I'm just saying. It seemed like every Friday the 13th movie was booked as, this is the last time. It's the end. It's the end, part 9 or something. I don't know. But if he were to, and I love Sting. Don't misunderstand me here. But if he were to come back, why not? If it's not against Taker, isn't it just kind of a waste of time? So, yeah. Anyway. Who will be the Friends' opponent? Are you talking about best friends? Didn't we just talk about that? Best friends, are they even on the card? That's a great question. I'm looking. Hold tight. I don't think they're on the card. Doesn't mean they won't be there. It just means that they're not on the card. So hold tight on that. They could put anyone in there if they want to. See, Aleister Black is not being used properly. He can really be something AEW would be a good fit. But Sean, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He has a contract. As we said before, WWE's not going to let you out of your contract because you want to go somewhere else because you're not happy. Because if you do, that sets a bad trend. It sets a bad tone. And the next thing you know, the entire locker room wants out. And maybe it won't. But if it does, what are you going to do? Tell them no? Because they could always say, you let that guy out. And so could their lawyers. You see what I'm saying? It could get ugly really quick. So I think it's a bad idea to just cave in to anybody that wants to leave. So. Brand's supposed to beat Braun Hell in a Cell. I heard. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Bray versus Braun, I guess, would make a lot of sense. Biz says, I agree with you, Tom. I think Sting should come back and face Undertaker. There again, Bit, it's the same thing I said before. If he wants to and he's healthy and his family's on board and the doctors sign off on it and Vince wants it and the company wants it and Taker's comfortable and he's good and everyone's in good shape and can go and make it look good and are confident they can make it look good, do it. If there's an ounce of doubt, don't do it. Because number one, I don't think Sting could damage his legacy. I think we're past that. Honestly. I don't think Taker's going to be able to damage it. I think that the question of whether or not Taker can damage his legacy, in my humble estimation, is still up for debate. We might be talking about that for years to come. Has he damaged his legacy? Should Jordan have just retired with the last shot against Utah and called it a career and never went to the Jazz? Did it damage his legacy? All of that's very subjective. History will tell the tale. Time will tell the tale. We'll see about that for Sting. In my personal opinion, I don't think Sting's damaged a thing at this point. Could he damage it by coming back and losing to Bray Wyatt clean? I think so, but maybe I'm wrong. Just my own take on that. Could he damage it by coming back and losing to Taker clean? I don't know. And the reason I say that is because they couldn't wait to beat Sting. They couldn't wait to put Triple H over. They couldn't wait to put Seth over. I'm just calling it like I see it. And that's how I see it. I just, he lost. And to me, Vince still has a statement to make about a company that's been dead for 19 years, and I don't understand why. WCW's not been a threat for 19 years, and it will never be again, okay? Not that company. So why do we continue to make that talent look bad and look inferior to Vince McMahon's talent? I'll never get it. It's good for business, pal. Whatever. I don't get that at all. Tina says, do you feel that there's a double standard with wrestling fans? I think the boy and his dinosaur gimmick is silly, and I like silly. If WWE tried, fans would bash it. But Tina, and I love your point, but think of what you just said. WWE has a history of silly gimmicks. They have a long career path of silly gimmicks. They do it all the time. AW is 15 minutes old. We don't even know what kind of company they're going to be yet. We're seeing some signs. Orange Cassidy, complete, absolute, utter joke and laughing stock of the pro wrestling business next to Joey Ryan, in my humble opinion. You can disagree with me. Perfectly fine. We can have our own opinions. But AEW wants to call itself pro wrestling. AEW says it wants to be a sports-based product. That's what the Khan family wants. It's what TNT wants. They just signed Marco Stunt, who's 105 pounds. I don't know what to tell you. So as of right now, they're being given a lot more leeway because they haven't really screwed the pooch yet like WWE has over the past 20, 30 years on a lot of different silly angles and storylines and such. I think that's why they're being given more freedom to be goofy. But ask me again 12 months from now if it's ridiculous, and I'll answer honestly, and maybe it will be. We'll see what happens. Nathan says, Nate, supposedly that whole thing's a rumor. Enzo and Cass swear they've been contacted. WWE says, nuh-uh. How do you know, dude? How do you really know what's going on? None of us really know because we're all in the dark. Like I said before, man, if you're not behind the curtain, you don't really know. So there you go. We'll see what happens. I'd like to say that I know for sure. I don't. If they come back, will it be the end of the world? No. Will they? Here's the question. Better question I have for you, Nate. In terms of overall fan response, the mainstream WWE audience, will they even know about the shenanigans with Enzo and Cass and Ring of Honor? Will they even know the Twitter stuff? Will they even know Enzo's problems and issues and acting a fool on social media every chance he gets? Will they even know? Will they even care if they know? Every time we think we've got that figured out, a guy or gal shows up in front of the WWE crowd and they're like, oh, I missed this guy. Like trained seals. No disrespect to trained seals. And no disrespect to WWE fans who only watch WWE. If you only watch WWE, go with God and be safe, I suppose. But at the same time, there's a whole big world out there that I don't know if I'd say 90% of the mainstream WWE audience says no, but how about 75% of them don't have any idea that even exists? Wrap your head around that, Jack. It's hard, right? It's hard. It's true. That's just how I see it. Jay says nobody needs either one of them. I'm inclined to agree on there. Sai says Big Cat's looking ripped. Yeah, supposedly he's doing DDP yoga. He is in tremendous shape. I'm like they did it for Elias. Nathan, nothing would shock me at all. Nothing would shock me at all. I'm serious. Okay, there's your AEW card. We can always circle back if you want to. Let's hit, really quick, this NXT TakeOver Cardiff card. NXT UK in the house, yo. Travis Banks versus Noam Dar. Dar. I love that. I want to see this guy in person just to do that in the crowd. I can't wait. I want to see the guys live so I can do that in the crowd. Fun stuff. NXT UK Tag Team Championship. Zach Gibson and James Drake versus Mark Coffey and Wolfgang versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. Triple threat match. I love Flash Morgan Webster, by the way. FMW. Fun guy to watch. Dave Massive versus Joe Coffey. Last man standing match. That's going to be one for the age. That's going to be hard hitting as all get out. I can't wait for that one. NXT UK Women's Champion Toni Storm versus Kaylee Ray. And of course, the main event. United Kingdom Champion Walter versus Tyler Bate. It's going to be another great battle for the ages. Bate will give all Walter can handle and then some. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a really good show. Have I heard anything about, is Ronda Rousey coming back to WWE? I have no idea. Right now she's doing Hollywood. Who knows? Anyone else looking forward to NXT UK Cardiff? Jenna says she's looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good show. I'm out of the house for a good part of the day tomorrow. And I'll be on tomorrow night watching AEW, probably watching NXT. I got 2 TVs up here. And I may even have Royal Quest on the iPad. 3 shows! He's lost his mind! That's where we live in now, baby. Pro wrestling every day, every day, all time, baby. 24/7, 8 days a week. Awesome. I can't get enough of it. Give me more. You know what? Give me another company. I don't even care. Give me more companies. More. That's how I roll, man. That's how I roll. So, there you go. Just how I feel. And I know and you're looking at me saying, it's overexposure, Tom. It's too much. Too much is not too much. We went through a spell when it was only WWE. Remember that? It was only WWE and Impact was just barely sniffing around the back door. Barely there. Ugh, I don't want to go back to that, man, at all. I just don't. Tina, that's how they pronounce it. You're laughing the way I say Walter. They call him Walter. I'm not changing that. He shakes his fist in defiance at the opposing crowd. I will will it to be so. So, anyway. I'm sorry, it's how you pronounce it. Nigel McGuinness pronounces it Walter. I'm sticking with that. I don't even care. I'm European. I got fans across the pond. You people appreciate that, don't you? And I mean nothing by the phrase you people. Don't take offense to that. We're much too PC. So there you go. You should be 24/7 champ. That's all right. I don't need Drake Maverick sniffing around talking about he hasn't consummated his marriage yet. Have you had enough of that angle yet? No? Guess what? It's never going to end. Yeah. Again, leave it to Vince McMahon to take something that was mildly entertaining and just make you either love it more or so sick of it that you're retching in the bathroom and you can't control the vomiting that's leaving your mouth. I don't know, man. How could I focus on 3 shows? Jenna, that's an excellent question. The fact is I can't. But doesn't mean I'm not going to watch them. So, again, I just go, oh, no, oh. Right? All 3 screens. That's my impression of me watching all 3 shows at one time. There you go. So, what else we got going on? Oh, yeah. So, the Carlos mentioned Rhonda's finger, which I made the mistake of looking at the picture, and I was like, ooh, right? Which is my reaction to anything graphic. Is ooh. That's how I roll. But, yeah, gross. What's up, Mark? Welcome back. Rob says, yes, sick of Drake Maverick. Talk about silly Drake Maverick. Yeah, I agree with that. Totally. Totally, for sure. I like him. Listen. Hey. So, if I haven't made this abundantly clear in the past, let me again reemphasize this to anyone listening or cares to listen, or anyone that wants to debate me or talk to me or debate me personally. I don't care. It's fine. Anytime I've ever criticized a talent does not necessarily mean I'm criticizing the talent behind the character. I'm criticizing the character, okay? I may not like the silliness that Drake is doing. Is he good at it? Yeah, he's very good at it. Am I sick of it? Yeah, I'm sick of it. Doesn't mean I hate the guy. Doesn't mean I hate Maverick. I'm just tired of the gimmick. I'm tired of the silliness of the angle. He's great at it. I can't disrespect him for that. I'm not disrespecting him now. You know what I mean? It's okay, folks. It's okay to hate a storyline. It's okay to hate the direction the company's going in. Whether it's AEW, WWE, New Japan, doesn't matter. It's okay to hate it. It's okay to disagree with it. It's okay to be not okay with it, right? But you can do those things without blaming the guys involved. If they're following direction from creative, they're doing what they're told or / asked to do, how can you fault them? That's all I'm saying. A lot of people saying, Nikki, what's up? A lot of people saying they're tired of the Drake Maverick thing. Yeah, like I said, no disrespect to that guy, but that's how I see it. All right, folks, we got one more show to cover before we end the show today. NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling Royal Quest. That's right, which is taking place in London tomorrow night. Here we go, folks. The first match, 20-minute time limit. Ren Narita, Shota Umino, Rasuke Taguchi versus Sho, Yo, and Rocky Romero. If the Young Lions team wins this, it'll be because Taguchi got the pin. We'll see what'll happen. This will be a fun match. I love me Umino, shooter Umino, right? Moxley's partner. It's good stuff. I think it'll be a fun match. Juice Robinson and Kota Ibushi versus Hikuleo and Yujiro Takahashi. That'll be interesting to watch. Hikuleo has gotten so much better than when he first came into the company. He's the third member of Guerrillas of Destiny, of course. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. He's the brother, the younger brother, I think, of the three. He's looking better than he has before, no doubt about it. Kid's got a great look for sure. We'll see what happens there. Bullet Club in the house, by the way. Third match, Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay, a budding tag team. There we have versus El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori. That'll be a good match as well. Ishimori, great little worker. Phantasmo is crazy entertaining. He says something stupid the other night during the Super J Cup, and he's apologized on Twitter. People didn't want to accept the apology. I don't know whether he meant it or not. I meant it the way it sounded. I don't have any idea. It's him, not me. But I will say, as far as his character in the ring is concerned, very entertaining guy. I love watching him. Sonata and Tetsuya Naito of Los Ingobernables de Japón versus Chase Owens and Jay White from the Bullet Club. That'll be great as well. IWGP Tag Team Championships on the line as the Guerrillas of Destiny, Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga versus, that's right, the winners of RPW's Road to World Quest tournament. So we'll see who comes out from England, from London, England, on that side of the pond to face the champs. Tomohiro Ishii versus Kenta. We will see what will happen. Never openweight championship match. Don't be surprised if Ishii loses the belt to Kenta due to Bullet Club interference on Kenta's behalf. Kenta is going to be red hot because he turned on Katsuyori Shibata, and the turn on Shibata was huge. Shibata's attack back on Kenta was even more shocking. Great stuff. I loved every second of it. I really did. I'm fearful for Shibata's safety. I want him to be okay, like I want everyone in this business to be okay and be safe every day. Hopefully he's okay and he's good. I don't know if he'll ever wrestle again, but he did physically get involved a few weeks ago, and it was amazing to see, folks. Don't be surprised if Kenta wins this battle. But Ishii will give him all he can handle, and Ishii make it look like $1 million. And if you can't hang with Ishii, Ishii will make you hang with him, no doubt. And man, working Ishii is like getting an automatic match of the year candidate spot. Watch this match. It'll blow your socks off, I have no doubt. British Heavyweight Championship, Zack Sabre Jr. defends against Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan. They always have good matches. It's always quality. They always deliver. We'll see what happens. I don't see Tanahashi winning this, but I've seen crazier things happen. We'll see. And then the main event, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match on the line against, I should say, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada defending against Minoru Suzuki. We will see what happens, but man, I for one cannot wait for that match. I think it's going to be off the charts. Off the charts. You guys know I'm in the bag for Okada, but I love Suzuki as well. He's grown on me over the past few years. I was highly critical of his style when I first saw him. Then I watched him longer and realized what he was all about. I'm a fan, and I think this match is going to be one for the ages as well. We'll see what happens. Wouldn't that be something if Suzuki went over? Can you imagine that? Even if you only had it for a few months or so, can you? God, that'd be crazy. Suzuki-gun controlling the IWGP title? That's insane. That's insane talk. So, there you go. How you feel about Royal Quest? You looking forward to that show? Tomorrow night's going to be epic, man. We got 3 big shows, yo. All kinds of goodness to be all up in your eyes and your ears tomorrow night. It's going to be great. And you just got a review or a preview of 3 cards. You got to be, thumbs up. Bam. Right? You got to be happy with that, man. Come on. It's good stuff. What else is everyone? Man, everyone's still talking about 24/7 title. Crazy. Yes, Larry, thank you. Love that heel turn. They do it right. Larry, remember how we were talking earlier about AEW is giving a little bit more leeway to be silly right now because they're just getting started? New Japan is giving a lot of leeway for other things that they allow to happen in their ring because of their track record of doing things right. And that's not just one guy's opinion. You look at the majority of pro wrestling insiders, writers, analysts, guys like myself who write about this stuff 8 days a week, and look at what we're saying. It doesn't mean that we're on the payroll. I don't get any money from New Japan. They get my money every month for the New Japan app, New Japan World. They're getting my money. I don't get a dime from these folks. I don't get a back door in to talk to anybody. I don't have any, I can't grease the wheels, make anything happen for the show. I can't. I don't have an in. I wish I did. I don't. But so trust me when I tell you, it's all my honest opinion. They do a lot of things right. And I'm telling you folks right now, if you've never given New Japan a chance, please, for God's sake, give them a chance. It's unlike anything you've seen before because they actually do pro wrestling. Now, maybe AEW will do that as well. But right now, AEW, they're going to be on TNT Live 2 hours a week, every week on Wednesday nights on TNT Network. I get it, which means they're going to have to cater to a mainstream audience, which means not just the hardcore pro wrestling fans are going to have to be happy in the middle of all this. They're going to have to make a lot of people happy, which includes a casual viewing audience, which means they got a lot of masters to please, which means they're going to have a varied amount of content, which means they're probably going to put stuff on TV you don't care about. Kind of like I see it. As I said a million times, I'll say it a million more. That's just reality. But New Japan does pro wrestling. Period. There you go. Yes, Christopher, I agree with that. Best wrestling in the world, hands down. I agree with that as well. Jason Mike Campbell says, "Wow, you understand their language in New Japan." No. Jason, Kevin Kelly does the voiceover. He's either there in person or he does a voiceover. And honestly, I've watched New Japan without Kevin Kelly's voice work, and I'm fine with it. To hear the New Japan commentators get excited and be loud and stuff, that's fun. That's fun. You don't even know what they're saying. It doesn't really matter because they're fun to listen to. Their excitement just translates and makes you appreciate it more as a fan, as it does in the States. Did you hear the rumors of Gronk going to wrestle? Hope not. He'll be a complete failure. Well, Shane, I can't say that because I don't know. I don't know what the guy's capable of because I've never seen it. I've never seen him do it. I've said a complete. I don't think I've said the words he'll be a complete failure, but I've said before about guys in the past and gals. Well, this will never work. And boy, was I wrong. So I can't say that about him. I don't know what'll work and what won't for him. I think he can do whatever he wants to, and I think if anybody on the planet would give him a chance, it's Vince McMahon. Whether or not he'll do it, I have no idea. We'll see. What do you think MLW wrestling? Brian, great question. Thank you. Other companies. I enjoy MLW. MLW has a different presentation than most of the wrestling that you're watching right now, I would dare say. MLW, it's really putting over the idea that they are a hybrid, that they offer a combination of pro wrestling, shoot fighting, lucha style, MMA style, brawling, technical wrestling, that they're a hybrid of all these things put together. There's things about MLW I don't care for. There's things about MLW I appreciate. But that's the way I feel about every company out there because it is my own personal taste. I recommend you check out MLW. The great thing about that company is you can get a lot of their stuff free on YouTube. Just go subscribe to their channel. I think it'd be interesting. You get to see a lot of MJF, which is a good thing. They've got good talent. They're signing deals all the time. They just signed with Crash Lucha in Mexico. We'll see how that works out. They've got a working agreement with Pro Wrestling Noah. We'll see what happens there. I got good things to say about MLW. I appreciate their work. I appreciate what's going on in that company. I do get into it. I watch it every week, actually. So, yeah, I respect that company. I do. I hope they go far. I hope they go big places. I hope that for every company in the business. I want the business to be as strong and healthy as possible. That's what I want. Yeah, Jason, absolutely. Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is a, what does Ross call these guys? He's a blue chipper. Yeah. Any company would be foaming at the mouth to get Jacob Fatu. For sure. I mean, first of all, look at his heritage. Forget that. Look at what he can do in the ring. He's very athletic. He reminds you of Umanga, as William Regal would call him, right? Just crazy good. And athletic. And, so good stuff. I like Fatu a lot. He's actually MLW World's Heavyweight Champion right now. So, isn't that funny about how these companies call their title the world title? They usually operate out of just one or two different cities. It's funny. So, Jacob Fatu, I'm looking up a little bit of background for you. Rikishi is his uncle. So The Tonga Kid, remember him from WWE? That was Jacob's father. Also known as Sam Fatu. Umaga was his uncle, and the Usos are his cousins. So he's got a long lineage. And obviously, let's just call a spade and call it for what it is. WWE would love to have Jacob Fatu in the mix because it's part of that family. And for all we know, Jacob wants to be there anyway. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't know if I want to see it happen, but I do appreciate the guy's work. He's very good in the ring. You got to go check him out. Yes, Danny, he is. He's not managed by Estrada and MLW. He's managed by him on the independent circuit, I believe, but not so far in MLW. I've not seen him yet anyway. Go to YouTube. MLW, just subscribe on YouTube. Go check them out, for sure. They're worth your time. No doubt about it. How do I feel about commentary on AEW? It's crowded. I like Shivani coming in. I love Tony Schiavone. I'm an old school NWA Jim Crockett Promotions fan. I love me some Tony Schiavone. Always have, always will. He's fantastic. I can't wait to see how that sounds. He's been working MLW for a while. Supposedly he's going to stay with MLW as well in some capacity, do some voiceover and all that good stuff with Rich Bikini. We'll see what happens. I love Shivani. I do, and I think it's going to be tremendous. Alex Marvez supposedly is going to be off the table, which I love. Excalibur, ditch the mask. You look ridiculous. But there again, I only know Excalibur from this. I don't know him from PWG. I only know him from AEW. So maybe I'd appreciate it more if I knew him from the past. He doesn't need it. Get yourself a name and, take your mask off. It's silly. If you're Jim Ross, you're sitting there next to a guy in a hood. How do you feel? I don't know. I'm just asking a question. Maybe he's fine with it. Who knows? Brian, yeah, absolutely. I see it. Tony and Ross can carry it all. They don't need a third guy. Jason, I would agree with you to a certain extent. However, Excalibur, I never said he wasn't good. He is good. He is the bridge between the older generation of fans and the new generation. Excalibur can tell you the move, what every guy calls their finishing moves. And I know maybe that doesn't matter to a lot of people. It matters to a lot of other people, for sure. And I think he's there. He's that bridge to cover recent history. Shivani and Ross can cover older history and what came before. Excalibur can cover recent history, and I think that's extremely important. No doubt about it. Hello, Jim. Golden Boy's a huge upgrade. Did a great job, Fighter Fest. Yeah, I thought he was fine. Yeah. Shane says, I'd like to see Silas Young go to AEW as a great heel. Yeah, I agree with that. The thing with, who's this guy? Josh Briggs. Am I giving you the right name? Just went to PWX last Saturday and saw a guy with a similar name. I don't want to give you the wrong name. Shane, give me his name. If I got his name wrong, tell me. That whole thing's a work, man. He's working Silas. That whole thing. Wait and see. He's going to start making all these stupid mistakes and be like, I didn't mean to, boss. It's all nonsense. It's just his way of getting back at Silas and trying to one-up him. That's what I feel. That's what I think is going to happen. So, all right, Bit. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Jason says, Josh Woods. Thank you, Shane Odom. Thank you for that. Josh Briggs is the cat in PWX. There you go. Thank you for that. Josh Woods, yeah. So we'll see. Will NXT hurt AEW? Barry remains to be seen. I have no idea. I think AEW's first few shows are going to have tremendous ratings. We'll see if it holds up, and I hope it does. Again, just like I'm not on New Japan's payroll, I'm not on AEW's payroll either. I don't have anything to gain by telling you I hope they succeed. I just hope they succeed. I want them to succeed at what they're doing. I don't want them to put anybody out of business. I don't want them to hurt NXT. I want everybody to get a piece of the pie. Can everyone get an even piece of the pie? No chance. This isn't a pizza you slice the same direction every way and everyone gets the same size slice. Someone's going to get a bigger piece. It'll be WWE. In the long run, 5, 10, 20 years from now, who knows what the business will look like? I have no idea. Stay healthy and stay out there and remain a fan, and maybe you'll find out. Maybe I will too. Who knows? I think Joey Styles will be this generation's Bobby Heenan on commentary with Ross on AEW. Rob, it's an interesting point to make. Big shoes to fill. Don't know how I feel about that, but you're certainly entitled to that belief. I did like Styles quite a bit. Yes, AEW TNT's promoting it pretty heavily, for sure. Rebecca, what's up? What is happening? Cult's personality, you're asking me? Oh, talking about Punk? You guys want to talk about Punk? So Punk did this thing for Pro Wrestling Tees, I guess, hyping up StarCast, which is happening this weekend, yes. And he's in a ring, and he's acting like he's all clumsy and doesn't remember how to do anything, which is really fun to watch. Because he's fun. He's an entertaining cat, right? So, we'll see what happens, but I don't know how much of that I believe. I wrote a column that will come out today on the Chairshot. Keep your eyes open for that, if you will. So, we'll see what happens on that. But, yeah, I don't know. We talk about Punk all the time. I always get a CM Punk question on the show. It never fails. I've written about, if you had to tally up the number of guys I've written about the most over the past 5 years, it'd be CM Punk, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. Probably the top 3. I'd be shocked if it was about anybody else that's in top 3 anyway. I say it's probably top 3 guys I've written about, for sure. So, I'd love to see Punk come back. Punk's in great shape, by the way. He looks healthy. Punk went through a stage there, in my humble opinion, where he looked hollowed out. And I mean no disrespect. I'm not implying anything when I say that. It's just that he had gotten fairly thin, like in fighting shape. There's a difference between fighting shape and wrestling shape. You guys know that. The cardio is... Wrestling is very cardio intense, obviously, but so is MMA. But a lot of what you do in wrestling is you're showing off your body. In MMA, you're trying to not get dead, right? So it's a different sort of workout routine, I imagine. So Punk looked, wow, he was crazy thin for a long time. He doesn't look like that right now. He looks, not only does he look healthy, he looks to be in great shape. So we'll see how all this plays out. Can you get Punk on this stream, fan for life? Interesting. I like that idea. I love that idea, actually. He says he loves his fans. So if he were to come back, it'd be for them. It'd be for him also, obviously. But people have asked me for years, well, since 2014 when he left, Tom, is he going to come back to WWE? And I said, no chance. And then it went from no chance to, I don't think there's a chance, and I would be disappointed if he did, because I didn't see why he needed to. They fired him on his birthday, on his birthday. They fired him on his wedding day via FedEx. Did you hear me? They fired him on his wedding day via FedEx. Imagine how you would feel if the job that you gave your blood, sweat, and tears to, I don't care what his job status was at that point. I could care less. They fired you on your wedding day via FedEx. Your services are no longer required. Here's your papers. Now you can look at me and say, Tom, he wanted out. I get it. Via FedEx on his wedding day. A predetermined, calculated move on their part. And they knew what they were doing. You can determine when a letter is going to hit someone's place of business or their residence, whatever. You know when it's going to hit. It's FedEx. Okay? They knew what they were doing. Swallow that. Could you go back for them? I couldn't. No chance. I'd love to see him in AEW. I'd love to see him anywhere but WWE. You asked me for my opinion, and that's my honest to God opinion. Austin Aries is currently in MLW. He's doing some work in MLW right now. Rebecca, I've got mixed feelings on Aries, and I think there's a good reason why you'd have not heard him announced as Austin Aries is elite. Is all elite. Austin's got some issues behind the scenes. A little too outspoken sometimes hard to work with. No shows, events. You can only do that one time and possibly recover. And for a lot of promoters and fans and boys in the locker room and girls alike, one time's too many and you'll never be able to live it down. I'm not sold on him. I like him in the ring. I've never been in love with him. And that's just my own take. And if he watched the show, I'd just be straight with him and I'd just say this. And he doesn't need to like my opinion. It's totally fine. If I'm asked, I'm going to be straight and I'll be honest with you. And it's just how I feel. That's just the way I see it. Yeah, I agree with you, Phil. Totally. Thank you, Mark. I think that's all I got for you, man. We talked about all 3 shows. It's after 1 o'clock. We've passed our hour here. He walked out of the company. Jason. Jason, yeah, he did. He walked. But Jason, just like I will say, and I've said a million times in the past, I cannot support the $1 billion company against the wrestler. I can't and I won't. And I just, that's, it's a $1 billion company with its cabal of attorneys and its high rolling accountants and lawyers and legal fees and all this other stuff and mountains and mountains and mountains of cash versus one person. Yeah, he wanted out. You're right. He wanted out. But if you believe anything Punk said at all, Punk's last comments to Triple H via text message, because no one would call this guy for months, okay? His last comments to him via text message was, And I believe it's text messages. I've always had time because Triple H want to talk to him. Okay, here's the story. And Punk said, I've always had time to talk. I've always been a phone call away. You guys are the ones not answering your phone when I try to call. And we will talk the second I get back, but I'm getting ready to get married and go on my honeymoon. We will talk the second I get back. You'll be the first priority, and I will call you the moment we get back. He gets the FedEx delivery on his wedding day. You could take that. Listen, you could hate Punk for leaving. It's perfectly fine. A lot of people do. It's fine. Not going to ruin my day if you do. I get it why you would. Trust me. Totally. But see it from his point of view, too. I would never automatically side with the company. I don't care if it's AEW. I'm not going to do it. I just can't. I want the best for these men and women. And here's the deal. WWE didn't miss a step. They kept rolling. And in the 5 years since Punk left, they've made great decisions. They made some crappy ones. People have been stepped on and people have been elevated. And they've hurt people along the way and they've helped people along the way. They've run the gamut of everything you could possibly imagine, folks. But at the same time, you have to speak up for yourself. For yourself and your situation. If you're not happy and you need to get out, you got to get out. No one was going to bat for him in that company. He was the only one that had his back because at the end of the day, only one person has your back in work, in business, and that's you. You're going to have the best friends on the planet, the best boss you ever worked for. You're the only one that's going to have your back. You have to look out for yourself. I completely respect that. 100%. I can't back a company versus one person. I can't. This is an employee-driven business. Absolutely. These companies would not exist if not for the talent in the ring, and the talent in the ring would not have a place to work if not for the fans. It's a chain reaction. God, I'm soapboxing. It's just how I feel. Guess what? If you don't agree, it's perfectly fine. No skin off my nose at all. I'll tell you, you're entitled to your opinion, and it's all good with me because it is all good with me. Totally fine. So, there you go. Thank you, Rebecca. Great comments. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rebecca. The other Rebecca. I got two Rebeccas. The two Rebeccas. It's crazy. One with a K, one with a C. So, anyway. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we call today? I got stuff I got to do, man. This was awesome. 150. It's been a blast. I love this stuff. What if CM Punk had a podcast? Imagine what he would say. Oh, my God. You just made my day. You just got the no prize, Miss Lopez. I love that. I listen to that all day long. Rebecca, thank you so much. I'm brilliant. God, you're killing me here. Thank you so much for that. So cool of you to say that. I'm not. I have a great beard and cool shirts. Brilliant. It might be a stretch, but thank you. That's awesome. Anyways, thank you, man. Thank you, Brian. Brad, have a great weekend. All right, folks. Looks like everyone's going to check out. Thank you so much for hanging out. Listen, if we're not friends on the Facebook, send me a friend request, okay? And if you can't find me, hit me on Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger, and I will say, hey, Tom, what's up? And I will send you a friend request. This has been number 150. Thank you guys so much for freaking hanging out, for being a part of this. It means loads to me. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Thank you so much for hanging out. I got stuff planned for the future for this show. Hopefully we're going to take it bigger and better places, but we have no intention of leaving here. As long as you guys want us here, as long as Wrestling Rumors wants us here, we're going to be here. And here's an idea. If you really enjoy the show, do me a favor. Message Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger and tell them, I love Tom's show, just thought I'd tell somebody. If you would do that for me, that'd mean loads to me as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you next time. And by the way, if you're only listening on the show, man, are you missing a party. But thank you for listening as well. Subscribe and download today on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.